This is the plaintiff, Millicent Burke Kalund. She says she cared for the defendant's 2-year-old daughter at her daycare center, and the woman owes her money. She tries to make a difference in the children's lives she cares for, but still needs to be paid for what she does. Besides, she has 3 people working for her, and they need to be paid too. She's suing for $600, the amount owed. This is the defendant, Zakia Johnson. She says she was only working part-time and qualified for a program that paid for daycare service. All she had to pay was $15 a day for a co-payment, which she did in full. She doesn't know what kind of system is in place with the state to receive the balance of the plaintiff's fee, but if she wasn't paid in full, she should go after them, not her. She's accused of dodging a daycare bill.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been affirmed, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Millicent Burke Kalund.
Yes.
Loving Care Group Family Daycare. You are suing Zakia Johnson. Zakia. For $600 for child care services the month of May because you did not receive payment. Tell me what's going on.
Yes. Good morning, Judge Millian. Ms. Johnson came to me in October 11, 2012. Started taking care of her daughter, Nahima, and ACS, the government agency, was paying for Naima.
Now, how would that work out?
I paid a portion of the
What's
bill.
the portion you paid?
It was $15 a week, but I paid monthly, $60 depending.
So you would pay $15 a week, and how much was the daycare bill?
My bill, I didn't.
How much was the daycare bill for the week for the child?
It was $160 per week.
$160. So you would pay $15, and then the other $145 was paid by whom?
Right, by the agency, the state.
By the government?
Yeah, the state.
Okay, because you had applied for child care assistance. All right. So for all those months, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, when did we have a problem? May?
In May, yes.
And how did you first find out that there was a problem?
Well, on the attendance sheet, they put the start date and the end date, but then they sent another letter in April stating that they would pay up until the 5th of May.
Because?
I'm sorry, until the 10th of May.
Because?
At that point,
because what? Let me see that other letter.
Okay. They say that they would stop because she didn't qualify. She needed to put some more hours in. Here.
Good.
Thank you.
Because she wasn't working enough hours?
Enough hours to qualify for that particular
So this is a letter that you got, notice of intent to change child care benefits. Payment will not be provided because of insufficient hours of employment. You have to be employed a minimum of 20 hours per week in order to get daycare. That's not an unreasonable request. What happened?
Right, Your Honor. So in April, that's when the recertification date was. I sent in some pay stubs that were processed incorrectly on behalf of that agency. And when I called them to let them know that the information that they received was incorrect because I, in fact, was working part-time, they told me that there was a number I could call to have my daycare unchanged, meaning they would still provide payment. So I called the number that they gave me, and I received a letter, April 25th, where it states that the commissioner directed the state to continue paying Ms. Burke.
Let me see that letter. Now, you went and you got some records, did you, from the department?
When they sent me, when I talked to Miss Johnson over the phone, and she assured me that everything was okay. And they would, when they sent me each month.
Stop.
Okay.
This doesn't say what you said.
It does at the bottom.
Oh, what this did was it stops the change and gives you a chance to have a hearing.
Right.
And so, in a sense, it does say what you said because it says, okay, things are going to be the same. And then?
Okay. I talked to her on the phone, and she assured me that everything was okay. And it said when I received May attendance sheet, Naima's name was not on it. For you to get, for you
and
to
all
get
this
paid.
is happening in April. Okay.
No, this is in May now. Because
right. Her stuff, what she just showed me, was from the end of April.
Yes.
And then now here comes May, which is later than April.
Right.
And in May, you get the attendance sheet, and the attendance sheet does not have her daughter's name on it.
So she assured me that everything was okay. She went to a fair hearing, and everything was fine. They promised to send her.
Wait, by then, when was your fair hearing?
No, I still do not have a fair hearing in place.
So exactly what are you going to do, or what's the government going to do, or what's happening with your benefits if you don't have a hearing. Are you working 20 hours a week? Because it's not a lot to ask. Are you working 20 hours a week?
I currently work full time.
Okay, and so do you qualify for the daycare?
I still do, yes.
Okay, so now what I'd like to know is there are some documents here. Are you the one who provided them to me?
Yes.
Okay, hand me your copy of those documents. So let me just ask you, the bottom line is you did not get paid for May.
No.
And you pulled your daughter out.
Right, Your Honor. So
when did you pull your daughter out?
June 5th was her last day.
And why?
Because Ms. Burke called me June 5th.
And said, I can't take care of her, you're not paying.
She said she's not on the attendance list. However, I did sign the attendance list
Can you
for the
please
month
hand
of
those
May.
documents to Douglas? Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I signed the attendance sheet for the a whole month.
Yeah, I know, I understand. But bottom line is there's 1 month that you had her take
Right.
care of your baby,
Right.
that apparently there's a problem with the state payment.
Right.
So have you gone in to talk to them so that she could get paid?
Yes, I have.
And what happened?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is there such a thing as a professional victim?
Yes, definitely. My best friend is one.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
No, I'm not. Yeah. She claims everything from, oh, you don't want to buy me something. She gets all sad.
You realize she could see this, don't you?
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Hi.
Professional victim, is there such a thing?
Absolutely. I think there's one over there, and one over there.
Yeah, I mean, are there people who just go through life always deflect? Why do they do it? Why does somebody always blame somebody else?
They're probably just trying to get something from other people, have people kind of ride on their coat.
Or they don't want to accept responsibility for what they do going inside the courtroom.
Did they tell you they paid her?
Actually, the last phone call I made was today. Prior to that, 3 weeks ago, it's in the system. They said that the agency was redirected 2 times to pay Mrs. Burke.
Okay, so then it shouldn't be a problem. At some point, you're going to get. But why is this? Okay, what's your answer to her lawsuit? She took care of your baby. She wants you to pay.
Right.
And your answer is.
I never had a problem with that because I was so trusting.
But you didn't pay because you did have a problem with that because you didn't pay her.
No.
She asked you to pay her. She gave you a reduced rate, and now there's a lawsuit, and now my day is taken up.
No.
So you did have a problem with it because you didn't pay her. So what is your answer? That she should go to the state?
No, that was never my answer. That was the last resort. Because I was so trusting of Miss Burke, I believed at one point that I did owe her the money. So
wait, I'm sorry. No one paid Miss Burke the month of May.
Right.
You had her take care of your baby for the month of May.
Right.
Not one day, the whole month of May.
Okay.
Okay. So what is your defense? She's suing you to pay her for the month of May.
Right. Now, I reached out to Miss Burke. There was one day in June where I reached out to her and I said, Mrs. Burke, can you please provide me with my receipts from the month of September up until the month of May?
Yeah, but no one cares. That is not what the issue is. I mean, if you didn't get receipts, you didn't get receipts. That's a separate issue. But what is going on with the month of May?
Okay, yes. So this was the end of May when I was notified that she was not on the attendance list. So then I reached out to Ms. Burke and I asked her for those receipts so that she could be reimbursed.
Stop a second, though. It wasn't the end of May that she was notified. You told her in April that she wasn't on the May list.
Right.
And that's why in April she's giving you the paperwork. Okay, she also wasn't on the June list and she wasn't going to eat another month. Right. My question to you is simple, simple, simple. Your baby was taken care of by her, and your response to her is you don't have to pay because what?
That wasn't my response.
But you're not saying a response. What is your response to the lawsuit against you?
I asked Ms. Burke to provide me with those documents so I can go down.
It itches me here, but you're scratching me here. You are telling me now about a different, new, and improved problem that you have with her because she didn't give you receipts for $15 for all those other. That is not. I don't care. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about this right now.
Right.
What is your response to the lawsuit? That what?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just what's your response? It's not complicated. I'm not trying to trick you. What's your response to the lawsuit?
I told Ms. Burke that I wanted to go down and so that she could be reimbursed for that month of the month of May.
Is that what you told her?
Yes, I have it in text messages.
Show me your text.
Okay. I have here where I told her that the agency was responsible. The letter, I told her the letter clearly states that she is responsible. The agency is responsible for paying her. And so in order for her to be reimbursed, I need those receipts so that they can see that I too did pay my portion.
No, you don't need that for her to be reimbursed.
Right,
all you need is proof that she took care of your baby in May. That's stuff that you wanted.
I asked for that also,
Send
Judge.
the paper. What are these, copies of the text you sent?
Yes, and I did.
Okay. Can you let go? Thank you. Okay.
And I did. And I also told Ms. Burke that in order for her to be reimbursed, I needed that attendance sheet for the month of May, and she never gave that to me. She was uncooperative. She said I will receive my receipts when she gets paid for the month of May. I told her the agency was responsible for paying her. Before that, I did reach out to Ms. Burke out of good faith.
Let me tell you exactly what you told her.
Okay.
The agency's liable, so I need my proof of payments from you so that you could be reimbursed along with the attendance I signed for May. She then responds, it's now almost July. Please pay me for May. And then you and ACS can battle it out when you receive a receipt. When you will receive a receipt when I receive May's payment from you. Give Naima my love. I need my receipt. Thanks. Things aren't adding up. Sorry. A receipt should be provided for every payment as a professional. I have no claim without receipts. That's just not true. As I asked in January and never received. Once again, I cannot conduct business in this illegitimate manner. This conversation cannot continue if we are not on the same page. Take it up with the agency. No, not take it up with the agency. This is out of my hands. No issues. Just wanted to make sure you receive your money from the agency. Okay, let me explain something to you that you apparently aren't picking up. The agency is liable. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The agency's not liable. You know who's liable? You're liable. Because that's your baby. And you had somebody take care of your baby. You have a benefit. The state is generous enough to give you the money it takes from everybody else in the taxes, okay, to help you pay for childcare, to help you get on your way. It is your responsibility to make sure you get your benefit.
Right.
So if the state can't get their act together and get it, then you need to go there and plant your hiney right in front of that social worker and get the whole thing straightened out. But if you're too busy to do that, that's fine. That's your prerogative. Then you don't get a benefit for May. But let me tell you who doesn't eat your benefit for May. Her. She doesn't eat it. It's your problem to figure out. So sit down and figure it out. I see what you're saying. That, that's great. Now, guess what? The state is really bad at this kind of thing. Okay? Government is really bad at handling our personal lives. But if that's what you're gonna do, if that's the social construct that's in your life, then yeah, you gotta play by their rules. And that means you gotta sit there and make sure that they do what they're supposed to do, which means you gotta sit down there, you gotta spend hours and hours figuring it out. You know who doesn't have to spend hours and hours figuring it out? She doesn't. Because in the end, she provided your child a service and she needs to get paid. So I feel for you because I know this is going to be really complicated for you to achieve, but it's your complication, not hers. I find in favor of the plaintiff and the amount of the lawsuit, which is the $600 verdict for the plaintiff.
Correct. Thank you.
So we said, is there such a thing as a professional victim? Guess what? The defendant is one. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.